Welcome. We're doing questions and answers today with Link Living Homes. So let's go inside, get started. Let's get out of the cold. Thank you.
Hey, welcome.
Okay. So today we are doing questions and answers, right? I'm Greg Cops. I'm a project manager here, and this is my father.
I'm Tom Cox, and the owner of Link Living Home Additions and Seniors First Remodeling. Thank you for coming today.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we're gonna do question and answers today. So anyone that's out there, I encourage you to ask questions right now or later. But before we get started, we just want to take a quick minute. We're gonna talk a little bit about what Link Living Homes is.
Has Megan been introduced yet?
Oh, Megan. Okay, so we have our third member here is Megan behind the camera. She's doing all the camera work and taking questions. You wanna jump in here, Meg, just so they can put a face to
Hello, everybody.
the stranger in the background. So thank you, Megan. But yeah, if you want to just tell them a little bit about Link Living Homes before we roll into questions, that'd be great.
Well, Link Living Homes 2 years ago, and we had the concept of making a little addition onto a home, one which a senior or one with a person with disabilities could move into. We found through the years of construction that say, people want to do that, but they're not able to with the home that they have. So we wanted to come up with an idea that could help, and then we made these Link Living Home Additions to solve that, to help with that need.
And they're designed and built for seniors and those with special needs specifically, but anyone can use a Link Living Home, right? Anyone that wants to. It doesn't
Sure.
have to be just those people. But
Yeah.
it's specially designed for them.
Many people have said, hey, if somebody had a character that wanted to move in, or a grandson, that could also work.
Okay, you want to say anything else before we get into some questions and answers?
If we have any questions, that'd be good. Do we have any questions, Meg?
We don't have any questions yet, but a lot of people are jumping on right now. So thank you, everybody, for...
Thanks for coming. Yeah, we appreciate it, your time. And,
yeah, definitely. Well, maybe you want to talk a little bit about, before you started Link Living Home Additions, you had this idea of putting and removing things into the home to make it more accessible.
right.
So maybe you can talk a little bit about how the idea came to be and how it started. Because it didn't start as Link Living Home Additions.
Right, we started as remodeling, and the idea was that we would have a way of remodeling someone's home, and with something that could be removed later, in a way, again, to help seniors especially to live with their families. It's something that we've been trying to do, and we've seen a need for that throughout the years of our construction, so.
Yeah, I remember when you were talking about it, I don't know, that's more than 2 years ago now. But you were talking about things like on the stairs, the motorized chair that goes on the stairs, and other more expensive modifications. Then you kept thinking like, oh, well, you're changing so much in the home, why not just...
Right, yep, and so, and additions aren't always able to be made so well to a home, yet I think with this Link Living Home we have a great solution, because it can be put on for a number of years and it can be removed later, so that if needed, I mean, who knows if that needs to be removed at all, or could just be repurposed for another use. So yeah, we're excited about that.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Yeah, that's true, and it's fun building homes.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you pivoted away from just modifications. This is more fun.
Right. But the link part of it is the key, right?
Yeah.
The link being
Yep.
just a little exterior hallway that attaches the two dwellings together, affords more independence for the person that's adding.
Yeah, it really separates the two living spaces. I mean, structurally, and it just that privacy. It feels like you're entering your own apartment.
We have a question.
Okay.
Says we have a question.
All right,
Sorry
very
guys,
good.
we have a couple questions. They're coming up pretty quick. This one is from Carrie Witt, and asks, she says, "Hi Greg and Tom, I hope you remember me. Are all homes the same size and layout?"
Hi, Carrie.
Thank you.
Who wants to take reins of that one?
You can start.
Yes, so, no, we can design too many things. We want to make it personal to your need. Say you're entering through a bedroom, maybe that bedroom will become an additional closet. Maybe it'll become something else. Maybe that'll be, so there are very many variations, and I think sometimes doing a little remodeling in the home can be helpful as well. But also, you know, we do have a very nice bathroom layout, we think. We spend a lot of extra time on that, and that is a lot of a lot of features that we're really looking for. So
Yeah, and there are designs that are preset, but we can design anything.
yeah, there's a lot of changes. We can change the windows, we can change the walls, we can make the different sizes being either the 2 or the 3 modules.
Yeah, I hope that answers.
A lot of personalization. Yep, a lot of personalization. Not all of them are the same. Tom actually works and designs with you to make the link more personal to you. So hope that clears up. We got a lot of questions coming in. We have another
That's
one
good.
here. Are these homes just for the elderly, or are you reaching out to other types of families?
Yeah, they are for anyone who wants additional living space. They were designed for seniors and those with special needs specifically, but it's not limited to those two groups of people. Yeah, I don't know if there's more I want to add to
Yeah,
that.
we'll be
or-
happy to talk to anybody that, and see if it can suit your needs.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Thank you for that question.
Okay, so we got a couple more. I'm trying to read them out. So we have another one here. Katie Mann, how long does it take to take start to finish for a home?
Thanks, Katie.
Yeah, again, it can take as little as about 2 months to have it attached and have a person living in the home. I would say, the first, that is from the time of the contract. I think that the first 6 weeks would be primarily here on our site in making the addition to your needs, and you can come and visit the site also. But then we'd also be putting the piers down for the footings that have to be made, and some preparation at your home for the utility connections. But primarily here at our facility.
Yeah, so as little as 2
A
months,
little
you
as
think?
2 months, I think.
Yeah, from the time of an agreement. So.
Perfect. Thank you, Katie. A couple more questions coming in. What are some typical features within a unit? They are talking about appliances, different features. They're also asking, there's some variability in that. That is from Luke Young.
Ooh, thank you, Luke. It's very personalized. That's not a word. It's very customizable, I should say. The features,
You can do as little or as many cabinets as you like that will, fit.
right.
You could put a Murphy bed in there so it swings up into the wall. You have more space that way.
The kitchenette is an option with a lot of variability. You don't have to have an oven or anything like that, a stove. You could get a small kitchenette if you'd like.
The flooring can be
flooring
modified.
can be done differently.
Especially if you go to the 3-module. I mean, the 2-module, it's a little more difficult to make the changes, but when you have a 3-module, there are many different modifications that can be made.
Even, I mean, the link, you can do a lot of things with the link. You can make it longer, shorter. You can put it at an angle so that it can fit in different orientations in your. You can do a lot of different things. It really comes down to what you like.
Okay, great. So people are jumping on like crazy.
Yeah, if there's anyone new that jumped on.
Questions.
Yeah, thank you. If there's anyone new that jumped on, we're just doing question and answer, so just type your question into the comment box and we'll do our best to get to it.
Yeah, we can get into some of the frequently asked questions now that we've seen in the past.
Perfect. Yeah, we do have some questions that are frequently asked, and then we'll jump back into some of the questions that are being asked online. So a couple questions that we get a lot is how is the linked living home heated? Who wants to answer that one?
Sure. We'd like to heat with either a furnace or electrical heat, So a combination of that, and then the air conditioning for the cooling. First, the fireplace that you see here.
Right, yeah, that is up and running right now. We can actually see what the temperature is at in the room right now. It's nice and toasty in here on this nice spring day on the temperature.
The fireplace that we selected is really the top of the line here that you're seeing. Yep. Although it's small, it runs about 16,000 BTUs per hour and is more than enough to heat a 3-module suite. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna get a couple questions. I'm gonna answer more before I get back to frequently asked questions. Another question we have here from Jason Ellis. Are there any special banks or credit unions for financing set up for the linked living homes?
Craig, can you answer that?
That's a good question. Thank you, Jason. We have been working most closely with Nicolay National Bank on financing, so they're very familiar with linked living homes, and they're set up to talk to you about what makes sense for you. But that's not exclusive with Nicolay. We've spoken with banks, and you can work with whatever bank you're most comfortable with. So.
Awesome. And then a couple more questions here. We talked about how big the linked living home is. Can you guys just re-explain that for people who just jumped on?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, typically there's either 2 or 3 as they call them, or modules that we put in and put that way so that we can truck the modules down the road into the backyard in a good way. Mm-hmm. So 2 or 3 modules becomes 280 square feet or 420 square feet, and then add the link to that, whatever that may be, about 50 more. So they're quite small, but I think as we in our open houses that we've had in the past, people are surprised at how spacious they think it is, because we do have larger hallways for the mobility issues that we might have.
Mm-hmm. And with the 2 module, what you get is more of like a apartment studio suite kind of feel, and the living area and the bedroom are kind of combined. And then if you go to the 3 module, you have a separate bedroom and a separate living room. So it gives you a little perspective about how the modules are working in terms of spaces.
Okay, very cool. And then with spaces, on a different side of things, a lot of people ask, I think our backyard is too small. Will it be allowed? Do you guys want to just kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that's a good question. We've come up with that a lot, and we believe that about 80% of city lots would be able to, or large enough to afford a linked living home. And part of that is because we can angle it as needed and add to different portions of the house. So yeah, I would think about 80%. We can, If you send us your address, we can go on the public record and look at the orientation of the house. We can also look on Google a little bit, but
Yeah.
more than that, it's the public record that's on GIS maps and county maps.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That we can do easily and get back to you on that.
Yeah, if you're concerned, just shoot us your address. We'd be happy to check it out for you.
Perfect. Maps or something, and when the COVID-19 is over, we'll have the option again of going in the backyard and taking those measurements.
Yeah, we can typically do it without going into the backyard at all, but if it is if it's a close tolerances, well then we don't want to say anything right off. It does take a little more work, and even talking to the officials and administrators of the city.
Yep.
Awesome. Another question here: do you pull with the city? The home will be built in, or should the homeowner do that?
We would like to do that. Yeah, that's something that we consider something as of the job that we need to do. Yeah.
Perfect.
And it's a bit of a specialty, and it does. A lot of permits over the years, so I think you're better off having us work with them.
Yeah, a little background on him. He's been a builder for 23 years with a company, so that's his background, that's his career more than anything.
You're in the Fox Valley, right?
Yep.
Very cool. So another question we have here from Breanna Kruger. Hi, Greg and Tom. Are you willing to do additions to homes all over U.S., or are you restricted to certain locations?
Hi, Breanna. Thanks for that question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right now we are able to build at our facility and install anywhere in the state of Wisconsin, but we're limited to Wisconsin at this time.
Mm-hmm.
We do think that we will be able to move forward with that in the near future. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in the plans. And if there was someone from a nearby state that wanted to have a link living home, that might be the time for us to go ahead and get.
I should have said that more positively.
Yeah.
We would like to pursue that a little bit.
Yeah, although San Francisco's pretty far, Breanna. Maybe. Thank you. Yeah, so anyone that's joined late, just thank you for jumping on. We're doing questions and answers live here, so just type your question in the comment box and we'll do our best to get to it.
I'm going to go back to some more frequently asked questions, but if you do have questions that I don't name off, feel free to just type them in and we will try to get to them as soon as we can. Another frequently asked question that we kind of talked a little bit about, but not too much in detail, is how do you do electrical, plumbing, and HVAC?
Okay. So the electrical is run to a sub-panel. So from the electrical box that you have to a sub-panel here, typically in the link of the Link Living Home Edition.
Yep. And that's from the house, right?
Yeah.
Everything's from the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And the plumbing also goes back to the house and so forth. Sometimes we will use some other means to, if it's too long of a distance, to use a recirc pump to keep the hot water get it here quicker. So that's electrical and the plumbing. The sewer, of course, has to be pitched, and it can be pitched in the floor of the link. And what else did we have? The heating,
The
right?
gas.
Yes, the natural gas could either go underneath again or in a trench on the outside.
Awesome. Okay, so another frequently asked question that we have is the addition set on concrete foundation?
No, it's not. We put in piers, and actually we subcontract out that with approved Wisconsin State pier installation company, And so they come in, they drill a steel pier into the ground. It looks like a great big screw, as deep as they need to in order to obtain the ground strength that they need. And then we build a beam structure on those piers. And then we come in later on with the living home addition and set it onto those piers and onto the beams.
So
One cool thing
piggybacking.
on that. Maybe you can go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say, piggybacking off that question is the house completely removable? Do you want to explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with it. That's a really cool thing about the helical piers, is if you would like to remove the Link Living Home at some point in the future, you can take the home away, and the piers can be removed as well. So you don't have to deal with the concrete foundation. So it's really clean.
It's a very much neater, and easier type of remodel on the home. In terms of cleanliness, in terms of it also saves some money.
And that was a question that not only was a frequently asked question, but it was also just asked by Teresa Mann Ellis. She asked, can the unit be removed and sold to another home or owner? So I think you guys talked about that a lot. Is there any other?
Yeah, and that's part of our plan, is a part of our business plan, is to aid in that removal and whether we buy it back or it's sold to someone else, whatever the case is, we want to make sure that we can serve the people that have the Link Living Homes.
Yep. Definitely.
Okay,
Thanks, Teresa.
Great. And then another one we get is going back to with appliances, does a Link Living Home come with the kitchen?
Yeah, this goes back to your preferences, definitely. If it's going to be someone who wants to be cooking, we can do a small kitchenette type of thing. If that's not something you want, maybe there's a kitchen inside of the house,
And the
and
kitchenette
the family
is,
wants to share that,
yeah, right.
then they can share all of their very nice big kitchen, and then you maybe don't need it. It all depends. We can design a kitchenette that
I think even a little more positively, that I should say, Greg, that we have the kitchenette sort of as part of what we make a standard, right? The sink and a little area that, and it doesn't have to be there, but we have water supplied there to the bathroom already, so it only takes a little bit to have at least the ability to have a little capability of microwaving, refrigerator, and I got to think. The elderly person, if it's an elderly person and they want to invite someone over, the nice part about the living home, sorry to get a little distracted, but they can enter through the link. They don't have to go through the house. They come in and have a little. They can cook something up together, and they don't need anyone from the house to help them with that. So I think that's an important part. Again, saying to the independence of having and the kitchenette helps you do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And you can check out this Link Living Home. We have a video on YouTube, and that's a really nice video for us. So thank you so much, Zach, for that.
Thank you, Zach.
But you can go and he's walking through with a really nice camera, and it looks really nice. It gives you a really good perspective of what the Link Living Home looks like. So Zach, I don't know if you're watching, but I just want to say thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Zach.
And you can check that out on
That's
social
on
media.
YouTube. That's on our website.
How do you find it on YouTube?
Our channel is called Linked Living Homes.
Okay.
Yeah, so just type Linked Living Homes in.
Yes. All right. So another question that's out there is, do I need to buy a link, or can I buy a Linked Living Home edition without it?
That's a good question. Yeah.
That one was from Kendra Van Camp.
Yes, you can buy one without it. Again, it's personalized. We think that the link has certain advantages. It gets you away from the home so that the existing windows aren't, maybe you still get light into those existing windows, et cetera, because the link is thin, and it takes the bulk of the building away a little bit, so it adds in ability to make that addition friendly to your existing home. But yeah, there's certain cases certainly that it could help out, and it can be done. Yeah. Good question.
Cool. All right. So then, where do you build these linked living homes? And then maybe you can just talk about exactly where you're located.
Yeah, thank you. We build the linked living homes initially here in Kaukauna at our factory, inside, and when we're to a certain point, then we ship it out, and some of the very final stuff will be done at your property, but for the majority here at our factory.
Awesome. And then we have another question here from Grace Dano. Hi there. What is the ideal number of residents for a linked living home?
That's a good question. Thank you, Grace. What's the ideal number of residents? It depends. I mean,
depends on how close you are.
Yeah, I could see a couple, an older couple, moving in together. I think it'd be really nice, especially
a 3-module. I think it could be nice for an elderly couple that would like to simplify their lives a little bit, and especially if they're going to be sharing and they can share some of the kitchen, for instance, with the family. Of 1 or 2, I would say.
Yeah, downsizing is big right now too. A lot of seniors are downsizing just to smaller homes, but this is a way to downsize as well. But obviously it doesn't have to be for a couple. It can be for a single senior or anyone else single. So, but probably more than 2 is getting a little bit crowded, Grace. I'm thinking. So I would say 1 to 2.
All right, good question, Grace. We are having a lot of viewers jumping on, so thank you all for watching. If you just joined, if you have some questions that maybe were talked earlier about, feel free to just ask them again and we can talk about them again. If not, I'm going to keep going through the questions that are frequently asked. One question actually came in from over email earlier today, so I thought I would just bring it up today. And that question is, what happens if I want to remove the linked living home addition in 20 years when my parents are no longer around?
Yeah, this is similar to the earlier one, I don't know, but yeah, it's been designed and built for that purpose, especially, right?
Yep.
So
we can take the modules apart, just like we brought them in, and then we can ship them back, or to someone else. We could purchase it back from you, or if you found someone else that was interested, or if someone wanted to use it as a cottage, something else. That's all very possible, and that's in our business plan to help them do that.
So at that point, the addition goes away, the foundation comes out of the ground, so then you have your lawn back, and then the house is sealed up because there's just an entryway that's created. So back to normal, more or less, right?
Awesome. And then a couple other questions I have here are, can you please talk a bit about some of the specific features that could help elderly people or people with mobility issues?
This is a better question for you probably because you went and did the CAP certification. You can probably tell them what that is too, but this is more your ballpark.
Yeah, the National Association of Home Builders has some classes which help train builders to think about the needs of those with disabilities. So, everything from colors of the from one transition, like from the shower, if you have a roll-in shower, which is part of what we have here, and we would do typically a roll-in shower, larger.
That's big. Yeah.
We know that ADA has a 5-foot turning radius.
Mm-hmm.
We can meet that if you
Yeah,
want that.
for wheelchairs.
But we do want to provide ample space for a lot of turning around.
Mm-hmm.
Little things that maybe you don't think of would be like a little shelf as you enter and exit the doorway.
The
Be
pocket
very,
door
very helpful. The pocket door, of course, is
for the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Grab bar backers for grab bars are there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pedestal type sink so you can roll underneath.
Yeah.
We can do other things too. Again, just to personalize what you would want and what your needs are.
Yeah. I always think the biggest thing when we talk about accessibility is being proactive about all these things, because being reactive is a little bit difficult. Don't really want to go there. You want to kind of prevent whatever it is that might happen. And also, just like the pocket door or the 5-foot turn radius, all those things, if you move to the point where you're in a wheelchair, it's not the point where they want to be making changes. It's nice to just have it ready, and it's very nice like that. So I like the being proactive part of it, and that we design for those things.
Definitely. A lot of personalizations depending on the needs of each person. We work with a lot of different people with different specialized needs, and that's the cool thing about Linked Living Homes is that we want to personalize our designs to help each individual. So yeah, it's very, not everybody has a CAPS certification, a certified aging in place. So we're very lucky that Tom took the time to become certified to help the Link and the people he's working with. So we got a couple other questions coming in. This one's from Astolfo Incarte. Am I saying that correctly? Inciarte. Okay. You know more Spanish than I do. So those units could have their own access to make it more independent. I think he's talking about the Link's doors, if you guys want to explain the 2 different exit strategies.
Yeah, that is a big part of the help of the Link as well, is so that the Link has that straight out to the exterior, or you can go in to the home. So that's a nice part. Now we could do some other things too with patio doors and the other modules, etc. But I think it works out really well in the Link itself, and for the most part, we found that others really like that idea too.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of what makes it feel different than a bedroom or maybe just a remodel. Having your own entrance just gives you that feeling. It feels like you're entering an apartment suite.
You get up early in the morning and you hear the birds, you can go right outside rather than having to walk through the whole house to get there, right?
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Thank you, Astolfo.
Yes, thanks for calling.
Gracias.
This is from Patsy Van Camp. What safety features are built into the home?
That's a good question. Safety features. I don't know how to get that one exactly. I can say, like the roll-in shower is a safety feature because, and then at that point you want to make sure that you had, like we were talking before, a different color scheme between where the shower and the other areas, so that you can see there's just a little difference in pitch that you don't want to have troubles with. We have ability to put grab bars in on both sides of the toilet, all built in, but not put at where you want. We don't know where a person wants them, so they're there. That we can design them in also, but needs may change with time, so we want to accommodate that.
Yeah. Yeah. It depends on the needs. I mean, while we're designing it, we would be in touch with whoever it might be about, do we want to put a ramp in to make sure that stairs aren't going to be a hazard? We're probably always going to focus on really low profile carpeting to stay away, because that can be a tripping hazard.
Right.
But it kind of depends on what needs. The good thing is that we're educated about it, so we can talk about it and figure out what features are best suited for whoever that might be.
Yep. Like I said, they're very personalized. that's what makes us different than other remodels and stuff like that. Going into that, we have a couple other questions about some of linked living home, some of the competitors that are like living homes. Another question here is, does the home have to be linked, or could it stand alone like a tiny home? With that, there's another question that came up from another social media source for questions, and that is, does the link stand alone? So those are kind of go hand in hand, if you guys want to explain that.
Sure. Well, it really does depend on the zoning, and you know, if it is in the municipality in Wisconsin, it does need to be attached, to be an addition, in order that it remains, if you are in a single family residentially zoned property. So in order to remain that, it would have to be attached. In the country, there may not be that difficulty, or in the other parts of the United States, they don't have that problem, and they can build the tiny homes into the backyards.
Yeah.
But here and right now, that's not the case. Here in Wisconsin, we need to have in the municipalities.
Yeah, unless you go a little more rural, or for some odd reason the municipality is just very easygoing.
Very cool. So I know we talked a little bit about the different features. Would you guys want to do walk through a link for everybody? And then we'll see if we get some questions from that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Great. All right.
You gonna take them through?
Sure.
Alright.
Alright, so as you can see here, we have a wider hallway, and off to the left here, we have the bathroom, pedestal sink in this one, and high-rise toilet, the pocket door
Yeah, I like that door.
with big handles. And again, you see the transition here between the shower. We have ways to keep that dry, and we've also put a pitch on the floor, especially, so that the water will drain back into the shower.
Awesome.
The sink as well, I think, is special, no? For wheelchair accessibility.
I mean, yeah, this is a pretty wide gap I'm standing in between here and the sink. Could you talk about the wheelchair accessibility again?
This one here, designed for a wheelchair, but we could take the pedestal right out of there if we wanted to. So
Very
we kept
cool.
it in there for the appearance. I think it does add.
Oh, this is the pedestal right here, but it's removable. Got it. All right. We talked about the door. And then should we see those 2 points of exit as well that's on this linked living home? From earlier, we walked through this door, which could be the independent door. Is that?
Yep, this goes out typically to the backyard, or it could be also to the front, depending on the lot, etc. But that's your exterior door. We have a little blinds here. Those are all common nowadays.
Look at that sunset.
They're kind of cool.
And so we have 2 points of entry, which is, or exit and entry, which is fire, cold, safety, but also
This would be the first point of exit, and then actually these are egress windows that are here. This is an egress window, and we have another egress window on the other side of the kitchenette.
Okay. And then this, what this sheet is over, is where the door to family's home would be at. Am I saying that correctly? Perfect. All right.
Here's the, what do we call that now? I forgot all of that.
That's the electrical box.
Yep, that's the sub panel inside of there. So we have, in this unit, we have 6 breakers.
All right. I'm really liking these wide hallways. Very cool. And then we have our fireplace. I'm going to turn it around right to the bedroom real quick, and then also check out the kitchenette. It's full with my stuff for the Facebook Live tonight, but we have a bunch of cabinets here, the fridge, the view of the windows. It's window filled, which I really like. It's nice and open, but very cozy.
You could notice that the fireplace went out, and that's just because it's operated by a thermostat, and it's all automatic, so it's just like having a furnace.
Awesome. So we have a couple more questions coming in here, and we have more people coming in.
Yeah, thanks guys for logging on and spending your night with us, definitely.
Another question we have here is, are there any concerns with a resident who would need regular visits from medical staff?
Yeah, we haven't talked about that at all. That's good. Any concerns about it? No, I think the Link Living Home is suited very well for that. The separate entrance that we went and looked at is kind of the perfect situation, I think, for an in-home caregiver to come and go as needed.
We can use a lot of smart technology, a lot of smart home technology to aid in those needs. So,
yeah, the smart tech's pretty cool. That's another thing that's you can personalize that. It doesn't come standard if that's not something you're interested in. But if you'd like to be able to lock your door without, if mobility is an issue, is usually what we talk about. There's a lot of things you can do. You can do voice-activated lights. You can do the door locking, unlocking. Obviously, your TV, music, entertainment, it's all pretty standard. So there's a lot of options.
It's nice now because that doesn't have to be hardwired in anymore, and that can be added as you need it too. So it's not harder to add later. So that's a good thing about it.
Yeah, really getting the smart tech. Where do we start? In-home caregivers. So
yes.
Yeah, I think it's really well suited
yes.
for that. Thank you for that question.
Well, it's good. You're getting a lot of information out there. We have a couple new followers.
And we've been networking a lot with those in-home caregivers too,
yeah.
And even some of the people, we're working with all the people that are giving us the input on what's important and how to make it better for the people that would live in the Link Living Home Edition.
Okay, awesome. And then we have another question here that I think is a great question, and I'm just going to answer it for you guys, but I'll tell you what it is. We have a question that says, what was the inspiration to get Linked Living Home started? And Tom, I know that this is a very personal story for you, so answering that question for Sophia is that we are actually going to be doing an interview with Tom to talk about how Linked Living Home started and how kind of your life has become through Linked Living Homes.
In the future, like in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get it out as soon as we can. But that will be,
for now,
yeah.
For now, as I had done work, I would say that one of our top foremen, and then also my cousin, who was a primary employee of the company, myself, we all had relatives who have disabilities, so we would talk about that quite a bit, and that's part of what interested us. And we were always interested in it, and we always wanted to do something with that, and the opportunity came up, so we're thankful that we were given that vision to follow through with that.
Definitely. So something that's really interesting, not only do you guys personalize, you are work with aging in place, the senior living, and working with families who may have a loved one that has special needs, working with all different types of people. Can you tell us a little bit about what a family-owned company is like? Tom, you've had a lot of experience with it, but now you were working with your father in the past, and now you're working with your son. Can you talk about Linked Living Homes as a family-owned and small business?
Sure, yeah. Well, my brother Jim and I worked for many years, and it was a company that my dad had started. And Jim, my brother, had worked with him for quite a while, and I joined a little later. And also my uncle and my cousins were also involved. So there we had a bigger group, and now we have the smaller company starting out. But you know, it is interesting. We get help from people that we don't know where they come from sometimes, and it's been a real blessing to have Greg around. I think it only shows that this is what I'm supposed to be doing now because of the way everything has happened and the gifts that we've received.
Definitely.
It's been a real blessing.
Yeah, of course. And then Greg, do you want to say kind of your side on that of things?
Yeah.
Father-son business, working with your dad every day?
Yeah, it's kind of rough when he's my boss here and then I go home, he's my boss there too. So that's a little bit rough. No,
I hear you're getting married soon to get rid of that problem. Right.
Yeah, soon enough. But truthfully, it's a very special experience, I think. After going to college and going away and doing a couple different internships and coming back, it's been really amazing. Sometimes you hear people that will say it's difficult to work with friends or family, or maybe it's not the best idea, but I think we're really blessed to have skills that complement each other and to share in this mission. We always say our mission is to bring families together, and we're a family out here trying to make that happen. So I think it makes a lot of sense, and it is very special, I think, too.
Definitely. I just have a couple more questions I want to touch on tonight. If you guys could just go again talking about the zoning ordinances and covenants, and where does Linked Living Homes additions fit into that? It was kind of touched on, but if you could explain a little bit more for me.
I'll be happy to talk about that. Thank the audience again for all the questions that you've had. And so on the zoning, Linked Living Homes is considered an addition. And as an addition, it doesn't change a single family dwelling to make it more than that. And that's been worked on with many municipalities and also through the state themselves as we've obtained our modular building license. So, you know, that is really one of the first steps we had to go over and to hurdle, which was quite a big hurdle actually, and to make sure that this would work. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, we can do it in the home does remain, we can do it in any R1 zoned, residentially zoned, and R2 as well. But yeah, so, and the covenants, well, covenants are typically more for the new homes and what's being built there. Now that follows through, and you have to, I understand that, but it's definitely difficult to know where that can go. We haven't had any problems with that or any concerns with it yet.
All right, perfect. So I got another question. Estolfo is wondering, where can he apply if someone to work there if someone is interested? I don't know if you guys are hiring right now. Just being a family.
Yeah, if you just we're always interested in help. Just send an email to our Linked Living Homes website off of our website. And if you have an application or a resume, just send it in. We'll put it there. Thanks for the question.
Perfect. All right. So I'm just gonna see if there's any more questions for the night before we draw a winner for dinner for two. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about? No questions? No, I kind of put you on the spot.
Yeah, that's okay. If there's any more questions, we'll definitely take them. Otherwise, I don't think I have much more.
Awesome.
We thank you all again for joining us this evening.
Definitely.
We hope we've made it worth your while.
Okay. Well, Meg's giving us the sign here that it's time. So, okay. We're gonna draw someone for the gift card. So we're doing a gift card for 2, and that's at a local restaurant. We're trying especially to support some local restaurants right now. It's a difficult time for that industry with the COVID-19. So, Meg, if you can reach into your hat over there and let us know who's gonna get dinner, that would be fantastic. In the meantime, just gotta tell you guys, if you have the time, go out and check out our social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn and YouTube. So please go and follow us there, and you'll get updates on future events like this. Whatever's going on at the company, you'll see it. It's the best way. So.
And we really do need your help to grow at this time and to continue serving more people so that we can move on and grow and serve others. So if you know anybody that may be interested, please pass it along.
Yeah, please do.
All right, so I hope we don't lose too many people when we draw this gift card name, but I do want to talk about some exciting news that's going on. We'll draw the winner and then maybe talk about some exciting things that are going on with Linked Living Homes to look forward to in the future.
Okay, very good. So Meg's pulled it out here. Looks like the gift
Drawn
card
out of my hat. All right.
Gift card is gonna go to Lori Fulser.
Lori Fulser.
Fulser. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Lori. If I'm not, I apologize.
Should be right.
Yeah.
I've talked to Lori before.
Okay, very good. We have your, I think we have your contact info, Lori, so we'll reach out to you and we'll get that to you.
Right.
Congratulations. Enjoy
Thank you.
dinner. So, other than that, some exciting things coming up with Linked Living Homes. We're doing a virtual tour. Is going to be on our website pretty quick here.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, the virtual tour, it'll be inside of this Linked Living Home, and you can go on our website, and if you click on the virtual tour, you come in and you can actually, it's a 360 view, so you can see it all around you, everything, and you can navigate through the Linked Living Home as well. It's the same type of thing as Google Maps Street View when you move through and you can see the different rooms. So it's a really cool feature. It's a great way to get perspective about what it looks like in here. Other than the virtual tour, we have a quiz going out pretty quick on our website, which is also really exciting. The quiz is called, Is a Linked Living Home Right For You? So it just has some questions to kind of guide you through the thought process of what's this going to be like. And you'll do a lot of thinking on your own, but it's a good place to get started.
Definitely. I will post that on our social media when the virtual tour and the quizzes are up. Another thing for the night that we have been doing because of the COVID-19, we are unfortunately unable to give in-person interviews, but something that we are trying to do to keep people interested and being able to look at a Linked Living Home if they want to ask questions, and if a virtual tour isn't an option for them.
And if you have questions about what you saw today inside of here, we can just pick up a phone. If you call us, we'll pick up a phone and do a video chat with you so you can walk through with us virtually and we can explain.
Yeah, that's nice.
Your questions.
We can do it on Zoom, we can do it Facebook Messenger, whatever you like. It's really easy. And at that point, if you like it, we can do preliminary designs, we can do preliminary estimates, but it's a really good starting point. So,
Good.
There's a lot of different, because of technology, we're very lucky to have so many different technologies to be able to show people the different video chats. So a lot of people are saying what a cool idea this is for you guys. So thank you all for that coming on. Lori Fulser, we will be in contact with you. Congratulations again for that dinner for 2. We are very excited to support local businesses, and
thank you all again. Stay home.
Thank you very much.
Stay home and healthy, and we hope that we can all get through this relatively quickly and thanks again for being with us. Thank
Great.
you for your time.
Awesome. Well, thank you all. Have a great night.
Good night.